Hello everyone! Hi guys! ごめん皆さんご機嫌いかがでしょうか。今日も可能性無限大 This is タロサックということで、今日の動画では日本に住んでて感じるいろんな違いを元アイドルのカナダ人に聞いてみたというテーマでやっていきたいと思います。簡単に言うと僕がいつも撮っているインタビュー動画で、僕が住んでるここオーストラリアのシドニーにいる日本人の僕から見た外国人に、日本のこの文化についてどう思いますかとか、日本人男性についてどう思いますかとか、日本人女性についてどう思いますかとか、いろいろ聞いてきたんですけど、今日はね、いつもとは違う角度から、日本に住んでる外国人は日本のことをどう思ってるのかとか、日本での暮らしの中でどんなことを感じてるのかとか、日本のことをよく知っている僕の友達のカナダ人元アイドルのティアちゃんに今日は協力してもらって、今言ったらね、日本のこといろいろ聞いていきたいと思います。僕のチャンネルではこういった外国人へのインタビュー動画ですとか、海外関連の役立つ情報を毎週配信してます。見るだけで頭の中がグローバル化すること間違いなし。面白いと思ってもらえたらぜひチャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。ティアちゃんのインスタグラムと YouTube のリンクも下の概要欄に貼っておくので、もし今日の動画見て面白かったなと思ってもらえたらぜひですね、ティアちゃんの SNS のフォローもよろしくお願いします。ということで早速行きましょう。Hello. I haven't talked to you for a while. This is the first time in a long time. Today, it's weird to say, but I want to ask you about Japan. I have a lot of questions ready for you. But first of all, could you give us a bit of an introduction of yourself first, please?
Yeah. My name's Tia. I'm from the greater Vancouver area in Canada. I've been in Japan for 8 years now.
8 years, that's quite a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time. And I've been an idol. I graduated from Japanese school. I graduated from fashion school. I was a fashion stylist for musical artists. Or sorry, I was a fashion stylist assistant.
Yep.
I was an assistant. I was an assistant for musical artists, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom.
You have a kid now, yeah?
Yeah, I have my little baby. He just turned 1.
I saw great pictures on your Instagram. I actually see them quite often. I have to ask you, I think you said idol. You've been idol in Japan. What do you mean by saying idol? What sort of things did you do?
Like a normal Japanese idol. Like
What's normal Japanese idol?
I was in a group with like 20 other girls, and we did like lives, and like we had our own TV show. We were like on the radio, and
wow, you were literally on TV.
Just sometimes, not that much.
Sometimes. Not like 10 times, but just sometimes. Just sometimes
Yeah,
it's good enough, I think. So you've been in Japan for quite a long time. You said 8 years, and now you have a family over there and must be having a good life. That's what I see from Instagram anyway. But first of all, this Canadian girl looks very beautiful. What made you come to Japan? Like, what made you interested in Japan at the beginning anyway?
First, I think like I've always loved like Japanese things since I was little, but I didn't know they were Japanese.
Okay.
I don't know, like Pokemon and like video games, like certain video games and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when I was like 10, I started watching anime. What anime? Like Bleach and Fruits Basket and like Full Metal Alchemist.
Right, I have no idea about anime.
Like Hagaren?
Hagaren, yeah.
Yeah, Hagaren.
I know that.
Like those kind of like anime from like, when is it, like over 15, almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I just like started watching like dramas and stuff like that. And my mom said, well, if you're gonna spend so much time like watching these things, why don't you learn Japanese? So I started studying Japanese, and then
How did you start studying Japanese? Did you go to school or?
I went to like this Japanese school in the town like over. I think it was like 2 or 3 hours every weekend.
Oh, wow, really?
And then I did that for 4 years. And then I just like studied by myself with like textbooks and like watching like, you know, anime and dramas and stuff.
The anime you just talked about, are they famous in Canada as well?
I think now anime is like more mainstream, like Shingeki no Kyojin.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or like stuff like that. is like super mainstream, but like back then when I was younger, like it was just like a nerdy thing. I was just a nerd.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. You know, because you lived in Japan for many years, you might know this well. I want to ask you about personality differences. What's the obvious difference do you think between Japanese boys' personalities and Western boys' personality, and about girls as well? You know, tell me if you can think of any. It's a difficult question, but I want to know. It's a good opportunity. You lived there for a long time, and I'm pretty sure 日本語喋れるよね。Yeah, you must be very fluent Japanese speaker. So, you know, you're a good person, perfect person to ask this question.
To be honest, I'm not really sure about the difference between like men's personalities, because I feel like once you get to know people, it's pretty like similar, or not similar, but I mean like I feel like everyone's different in Japan, like, and like in Canada. But like I feel like everyone kind of acts the way they're expected to act. Like, for example, women in Canada, like we're really outgoing and like outspoken. So we like express our feelings, like how we're feeling at that moment.
You don't have to hide or anything. You just express your feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not like weird if you do that. But like in Japan, like women especially, I think, are expected to act a certain way. So even if they feel like even if they're an outgoing person, they still have to like act like
they have to kind of follow the atmosphere as well, like in the situation where they are at the time.
Yeah, but like for example, I've met a lot of outgoing Japanese women, but I feel like especially those women, they don't feel like they belong in Japanese culture.
Okay.
So I think they tend to be interested in foreign culture, or like
I kind of know what you mean. Yeah.
Like me, I have more Japanese friends than foreign friends because I feel more connected to Japanese culture than foreign culture.
Oh, really? Is it because you're used to it, or is it because of your like nature or personality, or?
I think like both. Definitely, I think Western women are a lot more outgoing.
Yeah, I think so. How about boys?
I feel like Canadian men, I don't want to say like foreign men, I mean like Canadian men, are more like manly men.
Manly men, yeah.
Then, like, you know, and like Japanese men are maybe more, well, like I said before, like they're expected to be like polite.
A little bit different. Like, I know how they behave, how they act because of the culture as well. But do you think, okay, 草食系男子, you know 草食系男子?
Yeah.
Do you think they can be popular in Canada as well, like Canadian girls?
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, it depends on the girl, right?
Oh, really?
Like I always, when I was younger, or like, I don't know, I like preferred the more quiet. Like I didn't really care if he was like a manly man. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I think it's just more relaxed. It does depend on the person though.
Yeah, don't have to be like a party people all the time. Hey, like Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Jersey Shore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I get gym,
Jersey Shore. I miss Jersey.
You know, I get a lot of bills. Don't have to be like that all the time. Before I talk to my girlfriend in a video, in a different video, she's Australian, about this topic, which is about high context culture and the low context culture. So Japan has high context culture, which basically means that sometimes you don't have to say much to express how you feel or what you want the person to understand. Because in the culture, especially in Japan, we read the air, you know, 空気を読む.
Yeah.
Whereas most of Western countries has, like you said, low context culture, where you have to say what you want to say, what you want to tell the person verbally. Have you ever felt this cultural difference? Have you ever found any difficulty related to this thing?
Yeah, I've actually had like a lot of issues with it.
Really?
I think I've lost like a lot of Japanese friends and like relationships because of this, because I'm a very verbal person. Like I like to express my feelings with words, because I want to make sure that people understand how I'm feeling, and like this is what I mean. Like I want them to understand
I know what you mean.
and not have any like misunderstandings, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like especially with feelings, like most, I don't want to say most, but I think it's common in like Western culture to express your feelings. And even with like me and my husband, we have like an issue with this because he doesn't want to talk. Or for example, like after a fight, he doesn't want to say sorry. But instead he'll like wash the dishes, or like he'll be super nice to me. He'll be like,
I see.
He'll be like, oh, you said you wanted to go to like this place, right? Do you want to go there today? He'll be like, just be like overly nice to make up for it.
I know what I mean, yeah.
But he won't say I'm sorry, and I'll be like, okay, so are we making up or what? He's like, well, what do you think?
Do you guys speak in Japanese?
Yeah, we only speak in Japanese.
Okay.
So that's also a problem, because even though I think I expressed something properly, I use the wrong words, and then he like misunderstands that as something else. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a lot of misunderstandings in international couples. It's just like I think you have to find like a middle ground.
Yeah.
Like in my culture, we do it like this. In his culture, they do it like this. So let's do it like half and half.
That's an international couple. Hey, you gotta kind of like compromise in the middle. If you're totally this, if one of us is totally in the other side, like your partner, which is good, but most cases, we grew up in a different culture background, and then we kind of like have to meet up in the middle. That's like you said, a really good thing. I think that's the hardest part in international couple, I guess. I've been in Australia for quite a long time now, and I can say that I have communicated with people from all over the world. I feel like including everyone who's been to Japan for holiday or never been to Japan, people tend to have some sort of image of Japan, which is usually like, many people say Japanese are very polite, Japanese are very shy, and Japanese people are very punctual. What do you think about these with the perspective of a Canadian person who lived in Japan for a long time? Is it true or false? Has your image about Japan changed?
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of truth in there, but there's reasons behind them. Like I've talked to Japanese people before about how people think like Japanese, or like how foreigners think Japanese people are shy, and a lot of them usually say like oh, I'm not like shy, I just get nervous because I don't know how to act around foreign people. Or like they say like I get nervous because I don't speak English and I don't want to make a mistake. Or I mean, I would be nervous talking to someone who I didn't speak their language.
Yeah, true.
But I also think, and like the punctual part, I really think it's a lot to do with like Japanese culture. I know I've said that a lot of times, but like being punctual is like part of, not causing problems for other people, and like a meiwaku, right, to other people.
Has it been like too strict for you?
Like when I was in Idol, for example, we had like a 5,000 yen baking, like fine for if we were late.
Oh my god, that's like a kabakura. You know kabakura?
Yeah.
That's like a kabakura, or like a night job. Yeah, exactly.
Really? They do that for night jobs too? I think, my image of Japanese people has changed since I've come here. But I think it's changed because I've just come to understand the reasons behind everything.
Like, I reckon if you said something like, okay, if you're like 30 minutes late, I charge you like $50 as a penalty, I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna leave in a foreign country, like in a Western country.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Okay, fuck you, bye."
Yeah, bye. And also, like you said, not being shitsure, like shitsure ni naranai yoni. Like, let's say on the train in Japan, everyone kind of like there is a common sense that you gotta be quiet. But most cases, even you're like, some people talk still on the phone or
Yeah.
something else, and then people just get kind of like annoyed, and then like
they're like
they don't really
what?
say thing. They don't really say thing.
Yeah, I've never.
They say, I think in Australia they say if they feel.
Yeah, in Canada too, people will be like, "Excuse me, you're causing an issue.
Yeah.
Can you get off the bus or whatever?"
I like that sort of culture though. It's like you don't have to do extra work. Extra work means that you kind of like have to kind of like think first in your mind and like, oh, should I do this? Should I? And then, but you at the same time you're still getting the stress from the calls. But then in the low context culture in a Western country, it's like just solve the problem, like straight to the point. I don't think which one's the better, but I think it's easy.
I kind of miss. Well, I mean, I do on like trains and stuff. I do ask people to stop in Japan. If someone was like in the Yusenseki, like when I was pregnant, I would ask them like, "Excuse me, can I sit down, please?" Sometimes they ignore me, and I say,
Really?
"Sit again, excuse me."
Nasty.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Wow. Who do you think actually looks attractive to Western girls who are not interested in Japan or anything? I mean, in a Japanese male celebrity.
Yeah, I've heard that Western women like.
What do you think is the best way for Japanese to meet people like you know, who came from another country and live in Japan? What's the best way to meet these kind of people?
I mean, right now, especially, I think that, but like also, I would recommend going to like, yeah, I was just gonna say that, like,